Whether you're doing it live or virtually, if you're not using these three tools on your book tours, you're doing them all wrong. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Indie Author Pro Show. I am Ryan C. Greene, founder of Indie Author Pro, and I'm excited to share another episode with you, some more content with you. Today, we're talking all about the 3 book tour essentials every top author must have. You know, if you are an author, the book tour is where it's at, right? The book tour is what everyone is looking at. Once I write my book, I've got to get out there to the people, right? You got to get out there and go on tour, tell everyone about your book, and go out there and be famous and sign books and autographs and kiss the babies. But there's some things that you need to have in place when you're doing a book tour. And right now, whether you're doing it virtually or in person, you know, there's some things that 3 key elements that regardless you want to make sure that you have in place when you're doing your book tour. So, you know, I've seen book tours, I've seen good ones, I've seen bad ones, but if you keep these 3 elements in place, no matter what, you'll find yourself having a great event as well as great success after the event. So first and foremost, the first thing you want to have as an author is a signature presentation, okay? A signature presentation. Now, if you've gone to a book tour, a book signing, a book event, for a fiction author, typically they'll read an excerpt from their book, and that's entertaining because it's, you know, it's fiction. It takes you on a journey. You're learning the characters, you're reading and hearing about the book. But if you've been to nonfiction book readings, they can be kind of boring. They can be a drag because most nonfiction books, if it's not a memoir, most nonfiction books are, you know, they're teaching. So it's like sit there, it's like you're going to class. If you're sitting there reading, listening to someone read a teaching that they did. So it can be a little hard to digest and not as entertaining and fun as other book signings would be. So if you are a nonfiction author doing a book signing, the first thing you want to have is your signature presentation. And what that is, your signature presentation is what you're going to teach from your book. It should be about 45 minutes long, 30 to 45 minutes long. And it's just going to be it's going to be your signature presentation, just like it sounds. It's your signature presentation. So every book stop, you're doing the same presentation. You can use PowerPoints, you can have a video presentation, you can use tools within it, but you should have a structure and say, hey, here's what I'm teaching from the book. When I do my book signings for my books, I'm not reading from the book, okay? I'm not necessarily even saying in my presentations, hey, this is chapter 1, we talk about this. No, I'm just taking information from the book. I put it into a training. So whenever I do a book signing, you're getting a 45-minute training, an introduction into the programs what I'm teaching in the book, so that it's an entertaining event. You're learning something. You walk away knowing something. And people are getting excited and they're ready to buy the books. They're ready to go out there and do whatever it is that the book is about. So that's what you want, a signature presentation. The signature presentations, you know, there's certain steps that should be elements that should be part of that presentation, so that you know you're starting with your introduction and telling people who you are. Then you want to set your credibility and tell them why you know what you know and why they should be listening to you, why you're the right person to teach them what you're teaching. And then you kind of want to go through an introductory part, like part 1 of your training, whatever that may be. Then you want to have kind of a interrupter in there. So for me, I like to give away a free gift. Maybe you want to get some interaction in there. I like to also pause for selfie breaks, you know, right in the middle of it, because you're doing a training. In the middle of it, you want to kind of take a pause and say, hey, let's all take some selfies, whatever it is. Get people involved, have them all shooting out social media posts, telling everyone in their circle about the book signing right then, like getting some social media activity right there. And then you jump back into the second half of the training. Now, the second half is where you really get into the deep stuff and what the main purpose of the book and what it is that you teach. All right, so from there, then you also, after you get to that, you go into your offer. So the offer, and we'll talk a little bit more about the offer soon, but you're going to go into that as part of your book signing. So again, your book signing isn't about, hey, just come and buy my book. All right, if you're there, obviously people at the book signing, they should be buying your book, but you want to let them know then also what else you do, what else you provide, what other ways they can work with you once they also get the book. Product number 2 is your signature webinar. Your signature webinar. Now, we've been living in 2020 where we haven't seen our friends in been a long time, right? We've been stuck in the house for a long time. So webinars, which were already great marketing tools before this, are even more important right now. So your second tool is to have a signature webinar, and the signature webinar really is nothing more than your signature presentation, but you recorded it and put it online. Okay, it's the very same presentation because it's not going to change. When we're talking about signature, it means like this is it. When you go to a concert, the singers are going to sing the same songs. They're going to sing the songs that they wrote on the album. They may change up the arrangement sometimes, but your signature is your signature. So you're not going to worry about keep trying to reinvent the wheel with every presentation. Stick to it. That's one. And once you know what you're doing, once you know, hey, this is my presentation, it takes the guesswork out of it. The nerves are gone. You can really hone in and learn it and really get better with it every time. So the same thing with the webinar. The webinar, once you record it and get it right, it's up. Every single person who gets that webinar gets the same exact training. They get the same exact presentation, they get the same exact joke, they get the same exact spot, they get the same exact interaction, they get the same exact energy. And that webinar is a way for people who can't come to you, they can go to the webinar. Or if you can't travel, you also can offer the webinar. People will go to your webinar, and now they'll look virtually. So when the webinars are set up, you want to set up your webinar through a whole funnel as well, so that your webinar funnel, people are registering for the webinar, so you're gathering their information. They're watching the webinar, so they're getting the presentation in the webinar. They're going to offer them the book. You're going to make your offer as well, so you can make some sales while you're not even there. So your webinar is 24 hours, it's online, so you can be asleep, you can be on vacation, you can be at your kid's soccer game, and your book is making sales for you through your webinar. All right, so that's why webinars are so important. And why you should all make sure that you definitely have a signature webinar in place as well. And then the third key element, the third signature element is your signature offer. Now, I mentioned it twice, is your signature offer. The offer is really the biggest piece, okay? Because we talk about call to action. We talk about why we're doing this. We don't want to just share information. We're sharing information with the goal of moving people to some sort of action, okay? So whether you're doing a live presentation, do your signature presentation, whether you're doing a recorded signature webinar, you need to have your signature offer. What is it that you're offering and that you're going to be known for? So when you're doing your presentation, if you're a speaker, if you're teaching people how to do something, you have to have a signature offer, whether it be, it should be more than just your book, okay? The book is kind of the intro, but your signature offer is how they're going to work with you. What are they going to do after today? How can they really work with you, and you can also now begin to build a business by gaining clients. So your signature offer is the service that you provide based on the book that you've written, the book that you're selling. So you're going to make sure that your signature offer is strong. You're going to make sure that your signature offer is priced correctly. You're going to make sure that you actually can deliver on your signature offer. Please don't offer something that you can't deliver on. Please don't offer something that you're not good at doing or that you're not already an expert at doing, okay? So make sure that your signature offer is something that you actually are able to do. So that's it. Those three key elements. You want to make sure that you have your signature presentation, your signature webinar, and your signature offer. Now here's the thing, as an author, you're probably watching this like, Ryan, I just want to write a book. How do I get a signature offer? How do I get a signature presentation and a signature webinar done? I've seen others, but how do I set that up? How do I get my whole funnel built, and how do I get the webinars? So listen, that's what we do at Indie Author Pro. So if you need help building your signature elements, you want to build your signature workshop, your signature webinar, your signature presentation, and really hone in on your signature offer, go to indieauthorpro.com. Let's talk. Let's set up a discovery session. You can even, on the website, you'll see all the services that we provide as well. But let's set up the discovery session. We can talk about how we can get you rolling and through our product matrix and get your offers and everything set up for you and help you out so that you can start maximizing your revenues as an independent author. So listen, I look forward to working with you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If I didn't say that already, go ahead and subscribe. Help us to grow this Indie Author Pro. I look forward to working with you real soon, and I'll see you on the next episode.